I am the doctor, this is my section. Earth is under my protection. Planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got 2 hearts, your life is saved. Run into the master, raw Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not rich. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else? Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, I must dash. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride. It's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space. Oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman or Daleks, maybe.
Would you like a jelly baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo. I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me. I'm Doctor Who.
Such a long run-up.
Get on with it.
Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. I am your host. With this podcast, I will change what it means to be human.
Ooh.
I'm Adam O'Sullivan.
I'm interested to see what it's going to look like at the end, what being human will look like.
Or you're just going to write into the dictionary and change the definition of human.
Yeah, doing podcasts.
Yeah.
See, I wrote it in crayon.
Ooh.
Joined as always by my co-host. The biggest danger here is choking on an olive. It's Nicchia Schutt.
Oh, and I hate olives, so I will never choke
I
on
love
one.
olives.
Really?
Yeah.
They say when you grow up, you like them. Well, you know, I'm nearly dead and I still don't like them. So.
Well, I always assumed when I was a teenager I was going to grow up and like sport, and that has yet to happen.
Yeah, I thought I'd grow up and like more vegetables, but no, it didn't happen either. So I still eat like I'm 10.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm having a lovely day today because I'm not house hunting.
This is our first episode we've recorded since the drunk episode. Are you still hungover or?
I tell you, I don't think I got out of bed the next day and I was still hungover. And when they said you don't have to drive into the office on Monday, I was like, oh, yes. I'm not a drinker and it takes me days to get over it now. But I had a hoot.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of rubbish said.
Please welcome our special guest. Where would you go if you were looking for sanctuary? It's Liz Talbot.
I don't understand that. Where would you go?
It was a reference to the episode. Yeah, to the
And
church.
Can I add in just my my olive? My
Sure,
take on olives?
go for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Liz's hot take on olives.
Yeah. Is there like a song that you can play?
Ba, ba, ba.
Hot takes on olives.
Olive.
I only started loving them after age 30. The other day I ate a meal probably almost exclusively olive.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that just means sitting down and eating a jar of olives.
I just ate a jar of olives.
Yeah, people say it's for a mature palate. I obviously have, like most of me, an immature palate. So
Was it an experiment you did? You had one on the day before you turned 30 and you were like, dude, gross. And then you had the same one the next day and you're like, actually.
We should have fed olives to the guy in this episode to see if his DNA
There you go.
been. By the way, I know we'll get to it, but that explanation of what this guy did to himself, he just reprogrammed the DNA energy fields.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's no alien, nothing. It's just someone did it.
It's wibbly wobbly science, which is pretty much a lot of times in Doctor Who, not always, but a lot.
Never mentioned in the show ever again. Usually when you do an experiment and it doesn't work, you keep working at it until it works. In this one, nope, that's it. We're done. Shut it all down.
I know. That is my was very wily. There's a lot of wily coyote sometimes in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I'll try this. It doesn't work. I'll trash it. Well,
Does he ever accidentally explode himself and then there's a puff of smoke and then it's just sort of him with a charred face and hair everywhere and he's like,
I believe that was the original ending to the episode.
Yeah.
Don't.
He pretends he gets away by painting a tunnel on a wall, and they were like, well, he must have left.
He had a boulder rigged up, but it fell on him.
No, the thing is he was walking off the side of the cathedral and then he looked down and realised that he wasn't standing on anything anymore, like, uh-oh.
He pulled out a sign that said, uh-oh.
Well, it used to say yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. I had to remember that.
All right, well, I think we've written a better episode.
True.
Liz, what is your history with Doctor Who?
Very limited.
Ooh.
Very limited. I don't know. My parents didn't really... I mean, my dad, in terms of his suggestions for things that I would watch with him and watch with the family, it's all Broncos. Brisbane Broncos. So unless they've done a guest appearance...
No, not yet. Not yet. That will be the R-rated version of Doctor Who when we bring some rugby league players in.
I was going to say, they're waiting for 10 in a row and then they'll let the Broncos on. Yeah.
So if we're waiting for 10 in a row, how many years would it take for us to conceivably achieve?
2055.
Yeah. Who will be the Doctor then? They're probably not born yet.
That's right.
Yeah, they probably aren't. Wow. I mean, it's been going 60 years. I imagine it'll keep going.
That's a weird thought. Like, the next Doctor is either not born or, a kid.
It's
a baby.
I don't think the next Doctor. The next Doctor is probably alive now. But
an upcoming Doctor.
Sure.
Yeah. Or we could get the current lady to do it for 30 years.
That would be quite good. I like her. And I like the thought that there's a fetus out there who one day will be the Doctor.
Well, sort of. David Tennant's kid have already said that they want to be the Doctor.
Yeah, so, they have. Yeah.
David Tennant was the 10th Doctor, and then he's married to Georgia Moffat, who is the daughter of...
Moffat is the iconic... He's a...
No, not
that Moffat.
No, so her father was the fifth Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
and she was on an episode of Doctor Who with the 10th Doctor, and now they're married.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's all very incestuous.
But she shares a last name with one of the famous writers. But they're not related.
Well, it puts a new sort of slant on parents pressuring their kids to grow up to be a doctor.
Yeah. Why don't you grow up and be the Doctor?
Well, the doctor that we want you to be,
I'm so disappointed that you were the detective in...
Well, that's like Big Fork is running classes for children for improv, and so I asked my nephew if he wanted to do it, and he's like, no, that's fine, I've got sport.
Oh,
okay. Oh, God, who is this? I don't recognise this man, this jock.
You can do both.
Nah. He prefers cricket and soccer, so... All right.
Well...
I'll do my silly shows. Thank you very much.
I'll be the eccentric uncle.
So you didn't know about Doctor Who growing up? Or?
No, I was aware of... So when did... So, okay, I'm going to put it out there. Yeah. My birth year is 1988. I am 32 years old.
Update the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Yep, pop it on there.
I'm talking to you, Liz. Update your own Wikipedia page.
I will update my... Well, by the way, my favourite thing to ever happen on Wikipedia was some B-list celebrity, and internet trolls kept on updating his Wikipedia page to say that he's just died of diaper rash. I think it was like Scott Baio or something. Anyway, go.
My favourite thing is, I can't remember, it might have been Catherine Parkinson.
Yeah.
But a UK celebrity who's like, they keep trying to update their Wikipedia page to have their correct birth year because they've got them younger as they are. And the Wikipedia's like, no, you're not allowed to update your own page. And she's like, okay, but somebody needs to update my page because you've got my wrong birthday.
Well, I've got to say that I was madly in love with Scott Baio when I was young because he's my era. He's my era. However, he has turned out to he's been embroiled in the Me Too. Not a nice person.
Oh, well, he's also a Trumper, so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's put me off Rob Lowe for the rest of my life. But anyway.
What?
Rob Lowe wasn't.
He's a Trumper.
No.
He is literally a bad person.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
God damn it.
There you go. And if I'm wrong, don't tell me. No, he is. Look it up.
But so the first episode of Doctor Who I ever watched was yesterday.
Ooh.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Because so before that, I
wish we'd picked a better one for you.
Oh, no.
I did warn you.
Do you want me to take you through what I thought
an
episode
So you told us you were going to go through and write down before you watch the episode what you thought a Doctor Who episode would be.
So I'm going to start now. This is an episode of Doctor Who in Liz's mind. Mm-hmm. So we open on some bygone era in history.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's Shakespeare being like, oh my God, what am I gonna call this play? Or it's somebody, I don't know, the bakery in London just before the Great Fire. And something's happening. And, what's gonna happen? Then the blue police box shows up, and then this person arrives, and it's the Doctor. And they're like, who are you? The Doctor. Oh, okay. And then, and he's got a beautiful lady with him. And he gives them the ideas like, call the player, call the main guy in the play, Macbeth. And then Shakespeare is just like, oh my God, that's so right. And on
so
that note,
wise.
Macbeth, the play, to have also a character named Macduff, that's some like Luigi Waluigi bullshit there.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so, and there's also some sort of monster
Okay.
that threatens to, in my mind, there's a monster and he threatens to kill the baker.
Mm-hmm.
And they defeat him, but the baker is about to go home, right?
Yeah.
But then Doctor Who is like, but in order to maintain history, we need to start the Great Fire of London. So then he lights a fire or something.
Yeah. So
And then just before he leaves, they're like, what's your name? And he says, the Doctor. And they go, Doctor Who? And he goes, exactly.
Oh.
So you told us you haven't watched an episode before, but you've obviously watched every single episode.
Yeah, because there's elements of all of it in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Puddin' Lane, The Great Fire.
There's literally an episode with Shakespeare, and I think you
There is?
described most
Really?
of what happened there.
So-
yeah.
Oh, it had witches in it.
It had witches in it, yeah, and
As in from Macbeth?
yeah, and the
Oh.
doctor kept mentioning stuff, and Shakespeare was like, "That's good, I'll take that."
Oh, well, here is my question. This is, I want to understand the logistics, the time travel logistics of the world of Doctor Who, because in this episode that we watched, he says something like, oh, you might learn a little bit of something if you hang around with Beethoven.
Yeah.
Does that mean that were the Doctor to have spent time with Beethoven
Yep.
in, Austria, or wherever he's from,
Yeah.
in that period of history, does that necessarily mean that he was not at any place concurrent to that?
He can be.
He could have been in two places at once.
He can, because he can go anywhere. He just can't go back in his own timeline. So if he turned up and the world, and as he's there for, I don't know, a day, and then the world's about to end, he can't go back to the beginning and warn people.
Uh-huh.
So he has to stay and live out the consequences.
Uh-huh.
But he could go to the other side of the universe or the world at the same time
Yeah.
later and go through that completely different part of history as long as it didn't connect to that.
So
believe.
technically, no, unless the script requires it, in which case, 100% yes.
Sometimes, if the script requires it, he can go back in his own timeline. Very rare, but he can.
Can I and shall I assume that the Doctor is around at any major historical event?
Yes,
Yes.
Did the Doctor,
at least one of the incarnations. Yes.
did he shoot JFK?
Ooh.
Ooh, well, he was
Here's
there.
a question, but follow up. Did anyone shoot JFK?
Well, I was on the grassy knoll.
You were?
I'm very old. I was on the grassy knoll. No, the Ninth Doctor was there, but
What?
he didn't stop it. The Ninth Doctor was there.
What was his logic?
Well, because there are certain things that are fixed points in history that have to happen.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's one of them, like Pompeii, the eruption in Pompeii.
Uh-huh.
So we have an episode and he can't change it because
The
it's
Doctor
fixed.
can't, show up and plug Mount Vesuvius?
Yeah, he can't show up and say to everyone, "Hey, get up the hill there, you'll be okay."
Unless it's aliens, in
Unless
which
it-
case sometimes he can do that.
Well-
but if it's a natural thing, then he's like, no.
Well,
Yeah.
from what I understand, I was going to say from what I recall, but I was not in Pompeii.
Oh, I was
Many
too.
people were
Oh, that was the
saying-
main reason we asked you in the episode.
Yeah.
So
Many
Shit,
people
you
in
lied to me.
Pompeii were saying, we need to leave, something's going on. But they thought that the eruption of Mount Vesuvius was maybe a vengeful god punishing them for bad behavior. So they're like, well, we just need to turn our behavior around.
Yeah, and they didn't understand what a volcano was, and a lot of them went down to the water, which was the worst place to go.
Look, we need to get into this volcano
Yeah.
and stop it, you guys.
I want to get into a boiling sea.
Yeah.
Off we go.
boiling sea. No.
But-
Hideous.
So I sat down yesterday. Sorry, just to explain. I sat down yesterday. I've got 1.5 pages of notes on my
Fantastic.
iPad. I've got thoughts. And they're multiplying.
Our episode today is the Lazarus Experiment, Series 3, Episode 6, written by Stephen Greenhorn and directed by Richard Clarke.
I just love Greenhorn. Such a greenhorn.
Your Greenhorn. Originally aired on the BBC Saturday, May 5th, 2007. We start as we always do with a short synopsis. After their single trip, which lasts 4 episodes, the Doctor returns Martha to modern-day London. However, as invariably happens, Martha's sister is working for Professor Lazarus and they go to investigate. Lazarus's machine returns him to a youthful body, but with a decent-looking face comes a monstrous personality, both figuratively and literally. Martha chooses to help the doctor to stop Lazarus no matter how dangerous, but Martha's mum is warned about how dangerous the doctor really is through associates of Mr. Harold Saxon.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun!
And we had no idea who Harold Saxon was at this stage.
That's right. So, what part of the episode stands out to you the most?
Yeah,
So
what,
many-
what do you
so-
want to start with?
The very first shot, which was the police box traveling through time or space,
Yep.
Because it had a pinkish red background, and my first thought was it reminded me about 10 years ago my mum had a colonoscopy. And they gave her a DVD of it, and she came home and she thought it'd be funny to show us the DVD, and that was the background.
Wow.
So the time vortex looks like your mother's colon.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Fantastic.
interestingly enough, even with the blue police box, that's why she had to get it removed.
She had the blue police box removed from her colon?
Yeah.
There's nothing worse when the doctor's right up your ass.
Was it like a theme park? You had to pay extra for the DVD?
Yeah.
Get a photo of yourself. Woo!
Yeah. They're like,
While they're doing colonoscopy, you're like,
Yeah, when it first goes in.
I got it. Yeah, put it on a keychain. Yeah.
Oh.
my mum had a colonoscopy and all I got is this t-shirt.
Yeah, and then they can just superimpose me into the colonoscopy. I'm like,
Yeah. In the time vortex colon.
I don't think they understand how birth works then if they put you in the colon.
yeah. So then my next note
That's
was
amazing.
My next note was, so I don't know the relationship between these two people, the doctor and Martha.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things he said was like, "Oh, that was a tight spot." And then she says, "You should be used to tight spots by now."
Yeah.
And my question is, what does that mean, and is it sexual?
It did feel a bit sexual though. Yeah.
It does, but no, he had with this companion, he is an asshole to her. I've never seen any incarnation of the Doctor be such a pig to an assistant.
Why? How so?
Well, because the previous companion he was in love with. And so this is
Well,
Billy Piper?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is the rebound companion, basically.
Oh.
So
But he's all sort of, I just wanted to punch him at the beginning and this, all right, well, I'll be off,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck you.
yeah, basically they wanted to write the Doctor as the complete opposite of what he'd been with the last companion.
Yeah, but they
So
made
she's
him
in-
mean
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
or
Yeah.
insensitive. Yeah.
So she's still in love with him, but he's like completely oblivious and is a bit of a bastard to her.
Wait,
so.
what do you mean still in love with him?
From the first episode, they had to do as you have to do, a sort of a DNA transfer, and he had to kiss her, and that had an effect on her. So she's not in love, but she likes him. She's keen, and he's just he makes out he's oblivious. But there are times when you can watch it and go, you can watch it and go, he knows. He's just being an asshole.
Yeah. When he jumps in the TARDIS and disappears at the start, I think she was kind of still expecting him to kiss her, yeah.
Well, he came back to find her after they parted company in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And the last companion, Billy Piper, it was love, but it wasn't, romantic love. It was Doctor Who, weird, I don't know. It's not... The Doctor can never run off with someone because he lives to be, I don't know, thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And I thought that they took it too far and it became a bit, I don't know. Anyway, it's nice that they fancy each other, but not as much as they wrote this in.
It's just cash. It's just
It's
they're
cash.
super
It's
cash.
just cash. It's just super cash.
Like, yeah, they don't.
It's like a
they
crush.
don't make
Should be like a
plans
crush.
well in advance, but maybe on a Saturday they'll text each other if they want to hang out. But it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be best friends with a bit
They're
of
not BFGF.
Yeah, best friends with a bit of a crush.
he likes to hang out with a species that can sometimes live for 1/10 of one of his lives, you know? So
it's like hanging out with a mayfly.
it's not a long-term thing, you know. It's like
Are you saying that there's a potential for him to hook up with a non-human? He could.
He has travelled with another time lady
Oh, okay.
So,
But we're not talking like a dog.
No, he had a mechanical dog. That's a long time ago.
If he wanted somebody with a bit more longevity, one of those tortoises, they can go up to maybe 200 years.
Yeah. Not sure if tortoises would make the best companions.
Yeah.
Like they don't run away very fast. No. And you do need to run away when you're a companion.
Like, quick, get into the TARDIS.
He was pretty cool.
Wait for me, Doctor.
Exterminate. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
Torty,
the tortoise. Oh.
He did have a thing with a tree. The tree lady.
We've all had a thing with a tree.
She would have lived for a lot
that's
longer.
right. That's right.
She was a bit hot.
Well, Martha seems like a very lovely lady.
She is. She's fantastic.
As we open this episode, they've come into what I assume is at her house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a random person's house.
Well, this is what struck me. She's got a lot of framed pictures of herself in her own house. I understand for the sake of exposition, maybe the props guy wanted to just show like we're back at her house now. I don't have any framed pictures of just myself in my house.
No.
Do you?
Oh, look, I do have one, but it's a photograph my husband took that he wanted to display. It's not something I went, well, I'll just pop that up.
But I'm a woman who lives alone, and I'm not just like, well. So I'm just going to celebrate me. Here's me on the wall.
No, but you have a lot of mirrors everywhere, and that's why you don't need the framed pictures.
That's
is that correct?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, and you're right. It doesn't make sense because she's not a vain character at all. Adam, do you have photos of yourself around?
I do not. No, I hardly even have photos on my phone of me. So
yeah, I've got hardly any of myself on my phone as well. You know, the people who take all those Instagram ones.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be asked. Really? Maybe if I was 20. I don't think so. That's a lot of photos to
please
take.
check out the D4WH Instagram, which probably hasn't been updated in a year, maybe.
Possibly.
With some, influencer, cool, sexy pics.
Yeah.
You're selling some weight loss tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Paid partnership.
Selling weight loss tea, but also listen to my Doctor Who podcast.
Yeah. It's strange. It is strange. It's a very vain thing. Anyway.
Thankfully, the Doctor has managed to land the TARDIS directly in front of Martha's laundry, which seems to consist of mainly underwear.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Underwear. Oh, that's another question I had. In terms of special effects, the TARDIS just seems to fade in and out.
Always has.
Okay. Why is it windy?
Because that's what they've added since the 60s.
Yeah.
Where's wind coming from?
No, it wasn't windy in the early series that I remember. It's only been windy in the new series.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember.
The TARDIS farts when it shows up.
Then I want the sound effect. Like whether it's a wet one or...
I actually don't know. I'm sure your skirt didn't come up over your head when the TARDIS turned up.
I don't know. I assume it's... The insinuation is probably it's travelling, fast from another place.
Yeah, but there's just the juxtaposition between what seems to be quite a peaceful fade in and out, but then everyone's like, whoa, wind!
I've never questioned that.
No, I just assumed, they thought they'd whack it in. Fair enough.
If you know, listeners, please let us know.
Yeah.
It's the morning after her brother Leo's party, although Martha's lucky the Doctor didn't accidentally return her 12 months later like he did with Rose.
Yes, I'm surprised they didn't recycle that one.
Yes. Martha's mum calls, so they both stand there and awkwardly listen to the message. Conveniently, Martha's sister is on TV working for Professor Lazarus, who is giving a press conference. Surely Martha's sister would have already known the night before that she was going to be at a press conference.
Yeah, and somebody would have talked about it.
Yeah, and of course, they did the standard trope, check what's on the TV. Yeah. They pick up a remote and press one button.
Yeah.
And
then it's automatically on TV. It's probably on every channel.
Conference.
Yeah. But don't you find that yourself? They go, quick, turn on the TV. And you go, what? What channel? Where is it on?
Hold on a minute. Gotta change the input source. Hold on.
Hold on. And then
I had it on my PS4, now I need to change it to HDMI.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
Then you get to the end and they go, and that's the news. You go, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'll watch it on replay. So you press the big red button. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I saw Professor Lazarus giving his press conference, I wrote down, now we're seeing Johnny Knoxville from Bad Grandpa. I could tell from a mile away it was an oldered up person.
Yeah.
What's up, my fellow old people?
I'm doing my old man voice.
And the other big mistake they made was to pair him with an actual old person.
Yeah.
And so it's so obvious. They should have just aged her up as well.
Is that cultural appropriation to like, you're being me.
It is at this juncture I'll mention. So you told me to watch an episode of Doctor Who, and I didn't know which Doctor you'd even direct me to. And when I saw that it was a David Tennant one, I mean, one thing I fully appreciated was David Tennant. He's a tasty, he's a tasty man.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the morsel, isn't he?
Yeah, well, the most recent thing I saw him in was, it was like a Netflix or Stan miniseries.
Des?
I saw Des.
He was good in that.
I saw Des. And there was an episode, there's a British show where they just interview a suspect each episode, and he played...
what's it called? Crime?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Crime
It's
Talk.
so good.
Hi, welcome to Crime Talk.
And he plays, I think, like a stepdad who has a relationship with and then kills his stepdaughter. And even then I was like, tasty man.
Yeah.
And so it made me think...
Watch him play Kildare and Jessica Jones. Tasty man.
And it made me think, is there a character that would make David Tennant not a tasty man? And I can't think of one.
No, I don't think so.
He didn't lose me at Murderous Stepfather.
No, he is. I'm a big fan of the next Doctor, Matt Smith. I found him quite cute, but in more of a buddy way. But yeah, David Tennant. I mean, I could just lick his face all over.
And
not anymore, you can't.
yes.
Why?
Because of the pandemic.
Once I get my shots, I'm licking him. He's very lovely. His wife is very lovely too.
Yeah, if you aren't turned off by Des, I think that's probably the ugliest he's ever looked. So.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great actor. I saw him before he was in Doctor Who in the BBC miniseries Casanova, and he plays Casanova. And I think that's when I kind of fell in love with him. Even though he's thin, it's just something.
There was an old tweet that I read, and it was no matter. It was something like, even though I'm from Scotland, every time I hear David Tennant, I also want to hear his accent saying like, "There's been a murder."
Yes.
Did I say that right? You say it. So you say there's been a murder.
There's been a murder.
I can't do it, but I worked with a Scottish guy who was really good looking and looked a bit like David Tennant. I had to interview him once for because I used to be an investigator for workplace health and safety. I had to interview him. And another girl and I walked in to start this interview, and they said, "Oh, here he is." And he walked in, and we both went, and we smoothed our hair. But I would get him to say there's been a murder, and it's just...
There's been a murder.
I know, it's just...
And it's terrible. Had there ever been a murder?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
but that just goes to your loins, that does.
But one day he did walk in on somebody who had been murdered, and he looked down at it and he just said, "Holy fucking shit! Holy shit! Someone call the police!
There's a person
here! Oh my god! Someone's dead!"
Somebody yell at you, "Dickhead, say there's been a murder."
What are you talking? Call the police! Call the fucking police!
But just before you do, say it though.
We need to go call the police.
Say it, man.
My husband's dentist. He came home one day and he said, "Oh, I've got this new dentist. He's really great. He's really nice." And he said, "You'll love him. He looks like David Tennant."
Oh.
And I
suddenly you felt, a bit of a toothache coming on.
Well, it probably took me 6 months, and I finally went and saw him. And when I came out, I rang Dave and I said, "You're such a liar." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Because he does not look like David Tennant." And David said, "Doesn't he?" And I went, "No, he fucking looks like my next husband. He's beautiful."
Wait, he eclipsed David Tennant.
Wow, what a way to tell Dave that you were breaking up with him. He looks like my next husband. Oh, okay, well, look, it's been fun.
It wasn't a surprise to him. I always told him I'd take a date to his funeral, so he knows. We don't kid around.
Sure. What are you doing when my husband dies? Isn't that for for a while? Well, not if you say yes.
Yeah, I've got a few lines.
I've always wanted to see you in a suit and tie,
and I look good in black.
Professor Lazarus says he's going to change what it means to be human, and it piques the Doctor's interest. But honestly, that's how most rich guys speak. I'm sure when Steve Jobs announced the iPad or the iPhone, he probably said it was going to change what it means to be human.
Yeah.
No, well, he was a bit more broad. I think the tagline for that was "This changes everything."
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But the Doctor would have been like, I've got to investigate this guy.
Well, and that's what I love about Doctor Who. I mean, you always go, every time he turns up, there's a bit of a there's something going on. But my theory is that the TARDIS always takes him where he needs to be. So the TARDIS knows, and he turns up, and there it is. I mean, it's not like, Murder, She Wrote, where, she just, everywhere she goes, someone gets murdered. But yeah.
Yeah, imagine Angela Lansbury being like, can I take one fucking holiday where someone doesn't fucking die?
Yeah, you imagine. She rings, goes, I'm coming to your place. You go, fuck off. I don't know how many people are going to die when you're here. Stay home, Jessica.
Now that I watch Doctor Who on Stan, it has the option to skip the intro with the iconic theme music. But I don't know if anyone's ever used that ever. I do it for other shows, but definitely not for Doctor Who.
I love the theme music. Always have, always will.
It's reasonably short and sharp. It's not one of those 15 minutes indulgent.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones, where you're like, oh, God, this is longer than the episode.
It could be sung by a single person or a bunch of 6 people, as you might have known from our live episode, our improvised Doctor Who. Lazarus is in his office discussing plans with his partner, lover, wife.
Yeah.
They never
not wife.
have a clear relationship there.
Partner, who I think he's just using her for the money.
Oh, right, okay.
I picked up straight away that he was not to be trusted.
Of course.
He was not to
He
be
just
trusted.
didn't have a mustache to twiddle like, meh.
That's right.
Well, yeah, wealthy white men in charge of scientific
Anything, really.
conglomerates are
Anything.
not generally the good guy.
No.
You walk into any company, you look at the white male CEO, you go, you are evil.
Tish brings up the guest list for the evening, and Lazarus is a stone-cold creep. Never mind turning into a monster, this guy is definitely getting cancelled.
He's already a monster.
Yeah.
I like Tish. I thought they probably could have used her a bit more with her sister. It would have been good. I know that they talked about having her join the TARDIS, which I think might have helped make him a little less nasty to Martha, or me to want to slap him a little less. But yeah.
She could have been Martha's wing person.
Oh, yeah, she should have just slapped him.
Martha brings the Doctor along to Lazarus Laboratories to see the experiment, where he also gets to meet Martha's mum, sister, and brother.
Where did he get the tux?
Out
Where
of
did he
the
get the
TARDIS.
He's
The
got a
TARDIS,
wardrobe in the
would have a
TARDIS.
wardrobe room.
Does he do laundry?
I don't know. And there's one in the next season. His companion is Catherine Tate.
Yes.
And she runs into him and she goes, oh, my God, it's you. She goes, you're wearing the same thing. Don't you ever change? So they sort of make a bit of a joke about it. But I don't know. Maybe just laundry.
Yeah, the TARDIS can provide whatever they want. So
Does he use a bit of Sard, Oxy Wonder?
I would think Sard's Wonder soap.
He has his preference for a detergent from a little far off.
And does he use
Planet
pods or does he use...
I think he would use pods. They're very futuristic.
Yeah.
It's very sci-fi.
For high-profile events like this, do the PR people usually get to invite at least 4 to 6 other people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Sure.
Happens all the time.
Their family,
I like the fact that Martha's mother was in the episode with the cat nuns.
Oh, yes, she was, yeah. So you can appear multiple times in Doctor Who.
Well, you could...
As different characters, or is she the same?
Very hard to recognise her under the cat makeup.
Well, that's what I was thinking as well. I'm surely every single British actor at one point has appeared in Doctor Who. Every single British person, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's the whole population has had a run through at some point.
Can I throw some names at you?
All right.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
Yeah, no.
He hasn't.
I don't think so.
Ricky Gervais.
No.
Stephen Merchant.
No, he's done a parody, but.
Uh-huh.
No, Stephen Merchant, no. You're going to have to go a little bit further back in time.
Henry VIII.
Yes, he's been in it.
Henry VIII. Yeah, Henry VIII had a cameo, yep.
Yes. I'm trying to think from the older ones.
Anyone from the royal family?
No, but Charles and Camilla have visited the set.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Elizabeth X was a character.
Really?
Yeah, Lizzie 10. Yeah.
Liz 10.
Liz 10.
Yes. We've also had Elizabeth II. We've had...
Okay, Bill Nye.
No.
Yes.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he was in the Vincent one. He's the gallery guy.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
I thought you meant Bill Nighy, the science.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, has he been in it?
No.
He would have shut down the episode so quick. The doctor would be like, oh my God, they've reprogrammed. And Neil deGrasse Tyson would say, no, they wouldn't.
Whoopi Goldberg wants to be in it.
Oh.
And Peter Jackson wants to direct an episode.
I'm pretty sure Neil deGrasse Tyson has been like on a TV screen in Doctor Who or something.
No, that was, what's the English scientist guy?
Yeah, that guy who was in...
Oh, I know him. He used to be in a boy band
Yeah.
a million years. Oh, Brian Cox.
Brian
Oh,
Cox, that's right.
him. Yeah.
But anyway, one day I made a joke that Bill Nighy, the science guy, here, and that's why I got them confused.
All right. Okay. More. Colin Firth.
Oh no,
No.
I'm going through the cast of Love Actually, pretty much. Emma
Watson.
Emma. Okay.
Not
Emma Watson.
Not Watson. Emma Watson hasn't
The
been,
older one.
or Emma, the other Emma.
No.
Got cheated on in Love Actually. Emma.
Yeah.
No, so because it went off the air in 86 and didn't get back until
Yeah.
2005,
We lost that generation.
we kind of lost that generation.
Alan Rickman.
No, well, he's American.
No.
Most Americans.
He
No,
is
he's
not.
not. He's
Oh.
English.
I'm going to cut that.
Oh
so
my
don't
God,
worry
we
about
just
it.
got, well, that was a very visceral
we-
reaction.
As you should
Yeah.
do. Yeah, definitely. Of course he's not. Of course he's not.
I love.
American. I don't know why.
I love Alan Rickman. Well,
Yeah.
I loved Alan Rickman. Emma Watson hasn't been in it. No, they that kind of generation.
Any of the Harry
missed
Potter
it.
folk?
Not yet, but
What do you mean? The guy who plays Ron's dad.
Oh, yes, actually, yeah.
Was
True.
Rory's dad.
Yeah, the Mr. Weasley has been in it.
Mm-hmm.
So has
Andrew Garfield was on an episode.
Was he really?
Yes.
Yeah, we just finished watching those.
That's true. I forgot about that. Andrew Garfield.
What about the other Spider-Man, Tom Holland?
No,
No.
we haven't had Tom Holland. We have had an ex-Bond on there, Timothy Dalton.
Not Sean Connery.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, like, if you think this doctor is a dick to women,
Yeah. That's why it's a good thing they never had Sean Connery on.
Meet James Bond's version.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, chuck her out the boat.
But generally not big movie stars.
okay.
Because Doctor Who runs on a shoestring budget. So
Yeah.
not
As you can tell
no
from the
way.
graphics.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and to point out, like, whenever I've mentioned that the special effects in this in Doctor Who look like a PS1 game, it's been this episode that I've been referring to. To be fair, they actually look better than I remember.
Yeah.
Probably a PS2 game.
Yeah,
but
possibly.
they still don't look realistic. You know.
They don't, but I read somewhere where someone said, it's not what you would see in an American television show because they've got a bigger budget. However, and his call on this was that they actually wouldn't even try that because it would be such a big task and take so much money. So,
But the British just say, well, we want to do it, even
Yeah.
if it's not.
yeah, he said so it was brave that they just get out there and they go, well, hell, let's give it a shot.
Maybe the Americans would sit down and say, why is this TARDIS appearing? Why you want the wind machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I mean, Doctor Who before the new version that I grew up with, your special effects was wrapping the guy's arm in bubble wrap and painting it green. And, and you go, oh, look, you're turning into a weird.
So we're
Cool.
used to dodgy effects, basically. So when they try and spice it up with a bit of CGI, it's like, whatever. It works. You know.
Yeah, we get excited.
Yeah.
All right.
It's no Hobbit or Lord of the Rings or something.
Onward, Macduff.
Professor Lazarus steps into his machine and activates it. Do you usually ask your biggest backers to stand right on top of a machine as you're performing its first test run?
Yeah, at no point was he like, stand back a bit.
Yeah.
There was no, exclusion zone,
Yeah.
barrier wall.
No one had safety goggles on.
Yeah, and nobody said, well, this is going to be flashing lights, people with epilepsy,
Yeah.
please.
Please turn off your mobile phone.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. If someone obviously had their mobile phone on, it interfered with the signal, and he
Shuts the
turned
whole
into
thing
a
down.
monster.
I noticed that the scientists are only hot young ladies, which whilst
Oh, exactly.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, just wandering around, which whilst great for TV and female representation in STEM, also suggests that Lazarus has creeped on them as well.
Well, probably that's something. He's like having his what was
Midlife
his-
crisis.
Yeah.
No, but end of life
Is
crisis.
Robert Palmer addicted to love video
Yeah.
clip going on?
Yes.
I mean, I've worked in a university in the sciences department, and not a lot of hot young ladies in there.
Look, they could definitely be scientists, but first of all, they just kind of stand around and do nothing.
Oh no, but when needed to, they turn a dial like right up to 10.
And I tell you, you have to go through years of university
Yeah.
practice to be able to turn
Yeah.
a dial.
Well, so if when you have a machine to turn it on, you have to dial it. You go from 0 to 10. A switch. Make it a switch.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you don't need anywhere between 0 and 10, you just go 0 to 10. That's switch territory. I'm sorry.
I know, because you could knock that dial and
Yeah.
suddenly,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think
No one's ever going to go to 5.
No.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing a dog,
Yeah.
then you only want to go to 5. So
Yeah.
you don't want to do it at full percent.
Absolutely. You don't want it to explode.
But yeah, when it overloads, they just stand there. They're
Yeah.
like, Dad, this is gonna blow up and take us all out.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
well.
Yeah, and somebody goes, hey, Susan, fucking dial.
Yeah.
Hey, I only know how to turn it up.
Yeah.
The machine overloads and the doctor has to step in to stop it from exploding. Professor Lazarus emerges from the machine and is turned into Mark Gatiss, co-creator of the League of Gentlemen and Sherlock.
Oh, yeah. And when I saw
And Doctor
him,
Who fan.
yeah, I just thought, there's that talented man. He's a talented man.
He is a talented
He
man.
looks 40 years younger. Good thing his suit still fits.
Yes.
All right, so I got a question.
Yes.
If you could do it and go back and be, I don't know, 20 again, say, 20 for me, I don't know what you'd pick, would you do it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course, yeah.
Even though you'd be, really?
So we're just talking my body changes back to 20-year-old Liz, not I'm
Yeah.
going back to when I was 20.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
just,
sure.
okay, fair enough. And then
Why
you
would
could,
you not?
Well, because if you just kept going back, I mean,
But by the way, my answer is predicated upon the idea that I'm also turning into a monster.
yeah. Me
you
too.
are 100% signing on to the monster. Like,
Yeah.
in fact, if the monster isn't part of it, you're like,
Yeah, I'm actually
That's
out.
a- that's
if
a
it's
deal
like
breaker.
that.
Would you have a limit? Because I wouldn't want to live
I wouldn't
for
go back to like a
500
baby.
No, but I wouldn't want to live for 500 years. So at
Why
every time,
not?
oh, God. Oh, it's not that fucking good this time round.
oh, wow, okay, well, I'll kill you then. I don't fucking know.
Oh, no. Why
I
would you
would.
want to live that long?
I would.
Oh, okay. All right, then. I might go back to 20 a couple of times, but after that, I just,
But I would have the brain like Liz of
Oh,
current.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if I could just be a smart baby.
Yeah. Oh, no, God, couldn't do that. But keep the memories, but so you want your brain not to rewire, but you want your brain to refresh.
Yeah.
So you weren't 20 with Alzheimer's or.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it would be hilarious if you walked in and I'm like, I'm a smart baby.
Smart baby.
Smart baby. Yeah, you'd have your own TV show, obviously.
I'm Stewie.
Liz, the smart baby.
Oh, dear. All right.
That's right. He emerges. It's Mark Gatiss. He's a handsome man.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
I
talented.
wouldn't say he's
I think
like
he-
super handsome.
No, but there's something about him.
He's
Yeah.
pretty average. Like,
Oh, no.
no, I'm not saying Mark Gatiss isn't a good-looking man, but with that wig that he's got on, with the hair, it doesn't make him. It's not the most attractive looking.
There's something appealing about him, particularly for me in Sherlock.
Bit of a baby face he's got.
Yeah. I don't know. I won't lick his face, but
Yeah.
there's something.
Lazarus is famished and experiencing pain and cramps. The doctor introduces himself and points out that he understands the technology used, which it should be pointed out isn't alien like normal. It's just ordinary human stuff.
Well, why didn't he say something beforehand?
Yeah. The professor says the overloading is a simple engineering issue, but nobody in the room except for the doctor knew what was going on. The doctor wants to run his own test, so good thing Martha let Lazarus suck on her hand instead of, say, taking a hair or something.
Oh yeah. I've got his slobber on my hand,
Yeah.
and then cut to they're in a lab and they're seeing his DNA on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, forgive me if I might be wrong on how these machines work, but when you analyze DNA and put and show a picture representation of it. That's not a real time. You're not still looking at that because they see it move and they're like, see, I told you. And it's like, you're not still looking at the DNA. You're not watching it in real time.
Adam, you just do not understand. With the sonic screwdriver,
that's a representation of what it looks like.
Anything.
But it's not with a sonic screwdriver. He's using actual stuff that's in the lab.
Well, then he's got special glasses.
Because they watch it move and they're like, whoa, see, I told you.
It's like hair lice.
And then Lazarus has his moment with his old lady friend.
Back in his office, the now young Professor Lazarus is being a dick to his partner. She mentions that his childhood home will have a blue plaque on it someday, but to be eligible for a blue plaque, you have to have been dead for at least 20 years.
Is that the case?
Yes. Oh. Which seems a bit difficult considering Lazarus is expecting to live forever.
And it also means Doctor Who would never get a blue plaque.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Although some of the writers have got blue plaques. Yeah,
really?
Obviously, yeah.
I'm just surprised that the old lady's surprised he's being a dick.
Yeah.
I mean...
What are the things he says so that... Okay, two issues. One, they're looking out over the cathedral, which is spelled Southwark. So how do the British people say it?
Southwark. Probably.
Southwark? I don't know.
Southwark. All right, well, I take issue with that. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
But also, okay, so he said... Mark Gatiss, but speaking as though he's an 80 or 90-year-old man, is saying, I remember sheltering there during the raids, the London bombings, and we would shelter in the crypt. And he said the line in the script was the living sheltering among the dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he says the living sheltering among the dead. I was like, I've never heard among pronounced with a hard mong.
Well, maybe he mispronounced it, but they were behind schedule, and they went, that's all right, print it. Just keep
they're
going.
like,
I'd really like to try it again. No, we're going to keep going.
Shouldn't I say the word among?
Keep it as mong.
Well, and it just emphasises what a dick Lazarus is.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't even say among, right?
Mispronounces common words.
But I'd say it's like this monologue, and then there's a very short monologue at the end where it's like, I can see why Mark Gatiss took this role.
Why is that?
So he could do the big monologue of
at the end.
Oh yes, I look at my acting chops. Num num num. Grill these on your barbecue.
But he's very cruel. I didn't like that.
Yeah, and then he kind of sucks the life out of his the woman who helped him to get where he is.
Yeah, she didn't have a lot left either.
And he says, "Why would I waste a second life on you?" Which kind of suggests that they've been together for a while.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
but why not?
Yeah.
He could make her young.
Yeah, and she didn't seem absolutely devastated. She seemed a little bit pissed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever be like, oh, that's kind of rude. if my life partner was like, I regret, I'm pretty much about to kill you, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's so rude.
Where are your manners?
It seems like she's already thought about it.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I was expecting this.
Yeah.
By the way, I will expose you and reveal everything, and good day to you.
And why not? I mean, obviously, if she's going to do it too, she'll become a young hottie as well. Why wasn't he willing to wait for that?
Yeah, I don't know, but you're right. Someone turns up to kill me, and I'm not going to say, like, my partner turns up to kill me. I'm not going to say, well, where are your manners?
Yeah.
Say please.
How rude.
David, I was expecting this from the day we got married.
Yep.
I cannot believe you've rudely done this.
Lazarus turns into an actual monster with some amazing writhing and pain acting and attacks her. Lazarus, back in human form, returns to the party and begins hitting on Letitia Jones again.
I don't get this.
Yes.
I mean, he's a scientist, isn't he?
Yeah. Professor, yeah.
Wouldn't you go to someone and say, listen, I think there's an opportunity to make it better. But what, I'm just going to go around and keep sucking people to death?
Yeah, he doesn't be like, holy fuck, we need to fix this. He's like, let me start hitting on some ladies.
Yeah, Wile E. Coyote. He just did it the once, Didn't work. Who
Also,
cares?
side effect, if I do transform, I will probably suck them dry. You know?
Yeah. God, you had to hit on the people you don't like.
But girls always love a bad boy.
Well,
Hey, baby, come with me. I might kill you.
perhaps more of a bad boy than a lot of us were thinking.
Quite a terrible boy.
Yeah.
The worst boy.
Have you ever been with a weird mutant scorpion
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh, don't date them.
I tell you, as a girl, I love a murderous
They're
boy.
absolute fuckboys.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
Scorpion man.
Like anyone being hit on by their boss, Tish is disgusted, at least until he takes her up to the roof, at which point she suddenly becomes 100% into it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
At one point she goes, I can't believe I was going to snog him. Like,
I know.
I can't believe I was going to snog him.
oh, perfect. But
Very
literally
good.
10 minutes ago, you were disgusted
Yeah.
by him.
Well, it's a prerogative to change our minds, and
She was not. She was quite fond of young boss.
Yeah, but
Not jackass bad grandpa.
no, but when he first comes over to her and he's like, "Ooh, that brand of soap that you've got," she's still like,
Oh, yes.
oh god."
Yes.
well, sometimes between the someone approaching me and the lift ride to the roof, I change my mind.
A woman's allowed to change her mind.
Yeah.
Sure, of course. Okay, sure. Because he looks young, that means he's a good person now.
Yeah.
Maybe in maybe that's right. Maybe in Moonlight he's more attractive.
Sure. For sure he's attractive, but
Yeah.
also she knows him,
Yeah.
like his
And
personality
also,
and stuff.
she, very, very
She can change him.
intelligently. He's like, "Do you want to? Can I take you out to a secluded place?" Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so she
Please.
doesn't.
Shall we
there's-
go to a second location?
Yeah, and there's no one to compare him to.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
makes him look better.
Yeah, that's true.
If David Tennant's not in the room,
That's true, because they always say
everyone looks like dog shit when
Yeah.
David Tennant's in the room.
Well, she's already met David Tennant at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah.
So
they
she's
say
like,
if
well,
you get
Martha's-
married,
if-
you should pick the ugliest bridesmaids you can, so you look good.
not the ones who are your best friends.
No, just
Yeah, yeah.
ugly.
Why don't you pick me as a bridesmaid? You're too fucking gorgeous. Jeez. I mean, thank you.
I have to shout out to my friend Tracy, for whom I was a bridesmaid in
Oh, I'm
Montreal.
so sorry, I'm so
And
sorry.
she had only 2 bridesmaids. One was me, age 30, and the other one was her 19-year-old model cousin.
Oh,
Wow.
she had not read the handout.
Shout out to Tracy. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, to the people who've asked me to be bridesmaid. Yeah, screw you.
Yeah.
I was having an off week. I'm much prettier now.
The Doctor and Martha find the body drained of its life energy. What was Lazarus's plan? Keep draining people to live longer and hope no one knows it is him?
Yeah, that's what
I like
I
the
mean.
idea. So they turned the old lady into what it clearly looks like a husk of a person.
Yeah.
But also didn't look that different. She was
Zing!
I'm surprised you didn't go, you're still with us. Oh, no.
Yeah.
hey, she's just sleeping.
Yeah, she looks fine. That's how old humans look, isn't it?
She's just having a nana
Her
nap.
makeup's off. Yeah, that's probably about right.
She took her makeup off. Yeah. But, like, Lazarus is killing everyone who's around him.
Yeah.
It's like the police would look at her and go, well, it's obviously Lazarus, right?
Yeah.
Let's go investigate him.
He's got no fucking plan.
Yeah.
He's a scientist who could possibly come up with a solution.
Yeah.
But he would rather turn into a scorpion.
He's,
Yeah.
but he was hungry.
Well,
Yeah.
true. True.
Like, he might be a giant scorpion creature, but if the SWAT team and the army, like, turn up to, like, shoot him down,
Yeah.
he is still going to die.
Yeah.
yes, he is. However, yeah, he just doesn't think.
He's a hangry scorpion man.
He's just,
So give
he's-
him a Snickers.
Yeah, he's just
but
barring
it's like later in the episode where Lazarus dies and he closes the eyes of the young man.
Yeah.
And it comes back and it's the old guy, and it's like, you're not you, and you're hungry.
When you're hungry.
I think he's just barring up over being young, and that's it. That's it. He can't think of anything else.
The Doctor and Martha confront Lazarus, and the Doctor, who has had multiple lives spanning thousands of years, warns Lazarus that a long life isn't all it's cracked up to be. Still, it's worth multiple seasons and different spin-offs at least.
Oh, absolutely. Thank God the doctor's had it. I just don't want to have a life that long.
I do.
Oh, God.
As Lazarus transforms, Tish compares their relationship to Catherine Zeta-Jones. You know, the relationship she has literally only been into for about 5 minutes since Lazarus started looking a bit younger.
Oh, yeah. That was just an annoying part of the story. Very annoying.
And finally, we see Lazarus and his full PS2 era video game CGI greatness as a weird scorpion creature with what looks like David Bowie's head.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be his face, but it does not look anything
It
like Mark
doesn't
Gatiss.
look like him, and it kind of looks like someone just licked this and stamped it on.
No, I think it looks like somebody ripped off Mark Gatiss's face and tried to wear it. And it's kind of
that must be
pulled.
what happened. Yeah, that must be what happened.
Oh, that's like when you go to the Broncos and you get to wear the footballer's face as a mask.
I'm assuming you mean a paper version.
Yeah.
No. Then the footballer puts his face back on and he goes plays football.
Yeah.
I usually go to the dressing room, skin a couple, but
As soon as you become a footballer, you all have to go through that face-off technology.
Nicchia wants to wear it for the game.
Where, like an action figure, your face can just, like, be pulled off and then stuck on. It's all magnets. The Doctor warns everyone at reception to flee, but one of the patrons decides to be snarky about it. So obviously when the monster appears, she is promptly eaten.
I know. Well, she deserves it. What a dickhead.
It's like, I'm sorry.
And you can't tell me.
The only thing that could happen is to choke on an olive. Okay, well, there's a fire. No, I'm going to stay here and burn to death. Thank you very much.
Yeah. She was like the girls in the line.
Yeah.
That you
Yes.
Yeah. When I'm at a club.
Did you recognize her?
Snooty idiots.
I didn't. I didn't. However, I would have preferred that character choke on an olive.
Yeah. And then burn to death.
The creature goes to, like, get her and she's like... He's like, no, thank you.
I hate olives.
I also hate olives. The Doctor lures the mutant away from the people, and we get a pretty cool shot as it climbs from the roof to the floor.
What I love about this is that it's an opportunity for us, and such a wasted thing in this, but it's an opportunity for us to see how great Martha is in a crisis. Sure. She's just bang, 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 knows what to do, and then chases up after the Doctor no matter what. Yeah. She's such a good companion, and he treats her so badly.
On that note, so I was watching the episode and I didn't have subtitles on and I misheard something. So there's a point in time when, so everyone's outside of the black tie event and then Martha wants to go back in.
Yep.
And so she says, I've got to go back. And then her mum responds to her and says something. And I misheard it as something very, as a word that I didn't think they would say in Doctor Who. And I don't know, cut this if it's not going to work, but I made a little recording of it.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Let's see if you can hear this. I don't know if you get this. I'll do it again.
They drop the C-bomb all the time in Doctor Who.
It's funny because she's telling her to go do some research about Immanuel Kant, the philosopher. Yeah. She just yells at Martha, "Fuck you, you bitch!"
You're such a mole.
So
it's reverse psychology.
Yeah. There we go. Her mum is like you, C-bomb.
Oh, Mum. I find Martha's mother, she's far too harsh on the Doctor.
She's like, I hate that my daughter is shacking up with a handsome man who appears to be a doctor. No!
Yeah.
I love that a random guy comes up to her twice and is like, daughter should stay away from that guy. And she's like, why?
I trust you implicitly.
Yeah. And he's like, just because. And she's like, okay, that's all the proof I need.
Well, let's see. I could have a stranger or my daughter's actual opinion who I know. No, fuck that.
No, we all know what my opinion of my daughter is because we just heard it.
Yeah, that's right. I think one of the nice things is the character of Martha's mother, the actor. She was in Bridgerton playing a crusty old lady called Lady Aubrey or somebody who just tells everybody off. Perfectly cast. She's so good in it. But anyway,
she said the exact same line to everybody.
To everybody.
Show,
I mean, Bridgerton really quite rude.
In Bridgerton it was use C-bombs.
Yeah. That's right. That's what I prefer.
The Doctor and Lazarus are playing hide-and-seek in the customary massive pipe room that apparently all buildings have in case anyone wants to recreate scenes from Alien.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an action movie scene, this, isn't it?
Just for one scene. Then it's on to the high school science lab. The Doctor unplugs the light and turns on all the gas connections, blowing up the Lazarus mutant. However, it only really slows him down for a few seconds, allowing the Doctor and Martha to reunite.
Well, I thought that's kind of his action movie scene.
Sure.
Just that little one.
They hide in the de-aging machine, hoping that Lazarus won't destroy his precious
That's
construction.
like when in the horror movies, when they don't go upstairs, don't go and check that noise out.
Because I assume Lazarus wants to make more hideous scorpion creatures like him. Like, is that why he wants to keep the machine? Or?
Yeah, well, I
who
would
knows?
say so, because if he's going to go around sucking the life out of people, a few more will sort of, people won't... suspicion won't be on him anymore.
Yeah, I suppose, true. But if it's just him, he just has all the people to eat off.
Yeah, I know.
And I think it's just, hey, it's an expensive machine. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, that's exactly
Get out of my
right.
machine.
Yeah, that's right.
I might be a scorpion beast, but I know the value of $1.
Yeah, this cost a pretty penny, and Susan knows
They
the
did
dial.
cut the lines of Lazarus being like, "Hey guys, hey
Guys.
that's an expensive machine. Can you guys get out?
Take a step
Like,
back.
this is escalated real quick, but
This is
I
your
won't hurt
property.
you if you like. Just get out, guys.
Bit of respect for other people's things.
Like, come on, man. Seriously."
Just be a bit careful.
He activates the machine, and with two people in there, there's a chance we'll end up with a half Doctor, half Martha person like the Fly.
And that is a person who would just be a dick
To themselves.
To themselves,
Yeah.
Yeah, they would be whipping themselves on the back. Yeah,
The Doctor crouches down to get to the wiring of the capsule, meaning his head is bobbing around at Martha's dress hemline.
he likes her shoes.
Sure,
He does,
I'm sure that's
he
what
does.
he's looking at. Yeah.
Yeah.
The machine reversed Lazarus's DNA, reverting it back to an evolutionary throwback. Apparently, if we hadn't evolved from apes, we'd instead have become giant scorpion creatures who suck the life out of other creatures.
It's at that point
possibly.
I think Neil deGrasse Tyson would be like, that's not how that happened at all.
Oh, that's total bullshit.
Aren't we like swamp dweller,
Yeah.
amoebas, lizards?
I mean, it's not absolutely crazy. I mean, DNA wise, we're quite close to like bananas, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
I know I am.
But bananas are things that exist.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's like, but the thing is, just because something has similar DNA to something else, it's like salt is made out of a poison, and and then those two chemicals come together, and then they're not
Harmless
poisonous.
salt.
Yeah, it's harmless salt. Yeah, so it's like just because something has similar DNA doesn't mean it's absolutely anything like it. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's an interesting science that they haven't got all the answers to yet, but it's interesting.
Like we probably have our DNA is probably closer to a scorpion than it is to like. An amoeba.
I thought our
an
DNA
amoeba
was
or
closer
something,
to
you
an
know.
orangutan.
Not. I'm not saying it's like 70% or something, but compared to an amoeba, where we're probably like 0%, we're probably scorpions maybe like 50%.
I would have liked a version of this episode where he becomes an orangutan.
He just starts going around ripping people's faces off.
Or a fish. Didn't we start in the water?
Yeah.
He's sucking the life out of everyone. No, he's throwing his shit.
He's doing that funny thing where he like puts his orangutan finger up his butt and smells it.
But it would have been quite funny if he kept turning into a fish and then
Yeah.
lying on his side and like flapping and trying to get up.
He just keep changing it into different creatures. That'd be hilarious.
We kind of see him sort of. He's on the floor.
Yeah, he
as
does
we see.
flop around on the floor quite
True.
often. Yeah.
True.
As I'm assuming you're going to get to right
Yes. The Doctor reverses the polarity and the capsule shoots the energy out at Lazarus, ending the episode with a naked, freckle-covered dead man dead on the floor.
now. And not ending the episode.
No.
But we thought it was.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote down on my notes here, Lazarus is Nicchia, facing down on a tiled floor, cold dick.
Cold dick.
Because
yeah.
it's a cold floor, and Mark Gatiss obviously had to go face down. I'm assuming they put a little piece of
Like
fabric or something to help him out.
Like a nappy.
Were it not to have been there,
Yeah.
cold dick.
Yeah, absolutely. And it wouldn't have been wool lined.
Yeah.
No.
So
All right, cut. Can we get Mark Gatiss' dick warmer
Dick
over
warmer.
here,
yeah. A Peter heater.
please? Peter,
Don't make this guy go face down on the floor, get that dick right on the floor.
Oh,
and then
no.
and were he not to have the little dick blankie, when he stood up, it would have been like sweat or something like
Yeah.
a dick.
A sweat pattern on the floor. Like, I'm sorry. It was, you know, I know it's cold, but my body is sweaty.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. You would stand up and go, it was cold.
Somebody mop up Mark's dick.
Yeah, dick sweat. And there's 2 words I never thought I'd say.
4 of them. Mark Gatiss' dick
Mark
sweat.
Gatiss' dick sweat.
Just dick sweat, really?
I knew we'd get there eventually.
This podcast is brought to you by Mark Gatiss' dick sweat.
Nothing to
Available
do
at
with
Tesco's everywhere.
Surprisingly, sold out.
nothing to do with scrotal sweat.
As the body is taken away in the ambulance, Martha's mother slaps the doctor, reminding him that all his companions' mothers slap him.
Well, yes, but she doesn't do a Jackie and sort of
No.
warm up to him, does she? So Rose's mother slapped him as well.
However, Lazarus rises from the dead and escapes because there's still 10 minutes left in the episode. The doctor runs after him, followed by Martha and Tish for some reason.
Well, you know, she had a bit of a thing for him. She's got to see how it all turns out. You never know.
I gotta see how that scorpion dick turned out, am I right? Am
You
I
know,
right?
maybe he's fixed now.
And if Martha went after him and got called a C-bomb by her mum, I want to know what her mum called Tish.
Yeah.
That would have been a heavily censored
Probably
tirade.
drove off and went, those C-bomb daughters of mine.
Leo, let me tell you about your sisters.
What a bunch of C-bombs.
The doctor tries to reason with Lazarus, but he sees the deaths of the people he consumes as necessary for his survival and doesn't see their lives as having much value, much like any billionaire views the average population.
Absolutely.
The doctor's plan is to get Lazarus into the bell tower, so Martha and Tish lure him up there. However, even in 2007, a naked man chasing 2 women is inappropriate, so Lazarus thankfully changes back into the mutant creature.
Oh, yeah, thank God for that.
The doctor then plays the church organ. I had assumed that because the vibrating energy had created the creature, that the sound waves of the organ would do something to disrupt it. But it seems like the doctor's plan was basically to get Lazarus into the bell tower, play really loud music to disarm him, and then have him fall to his death.
That's what I kind of got.
Yeah, was that it? I mean, he's
Yeah.
going to kill him?
Well, what I wrote down is, so as by way of a bit of exposition, the doctor would say to Tish or Martha things. He was saying things like, "Get him to the top of the bell tower.
yeah.
Get him to the top." And when I was watching those bits, I was thinking, he's in the room. Lazarus can hear you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Although,
Oh, you want me to go to the bell tower? Fuck, he heard.
Yeah.
obviously his primal reverting DNA
Yeah.
doesn't understand.
Oh,
It doesn't.
We want you to go to the bell tower.
And you can confirm that. So these are my notes I'm holding up. This is when I got to the crux of how he died.
Loud
I've just
organ
written
music.
in big letters. Loud organ music?
Yeah.
Listen, if you've ever been in a church when they really, really rock out the pipe organ,
Yeah.
I tell you. I mean, it's not like the Yamaha from home.
He does say he's turning it up to 11, so there you go. There you go.
And those hot scientist ladies are like, I only know how to turn it up to 10.
Yeah. They're all still back there going, I had the dial job.
And I don't know how to turn it down.
Yeah.
So once it's up,
Yeah.
I will.
I'm done.
I go home basically. Yeah.
And I also wrote here, so now he's defeated and now back into Mark Gatiss form. I've put here, Naki Man's now facing upwards. Cold butt.
Yes.
Well, he
Butt
had
sweat.
learnt from the dick,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Can we make my butt cold this time?"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they were
exactly.
like, "Yes,
But
please."
which would we prefer? Dick sweat or butt sweat?
Oh.
You know, I just got to say.
Cold butt or dick sweat?
Yeah. I don't know. But it's a stupid plan. It puts Martha and Tish in danger, and he's not going to save him, which is what he normally does.
Yeah.
He just wants him to fall.
Yeah, I thought he had some special plan to like
I don't know,
change
shoot
him
him out
back
of the
so he
sky,
could get arrested
yeah.
or something, but he's literally like, why the bell tower? Might be like, just get him to a high place. Get him on the roof. Who
Oh, the
fucking
bell
cares? Just
tower
push
because
him
of the
over.
vibration.
I don't know. Because of the loud
no.
music.
Yeah. I thought it was the vibration in the bell tower.
What kills scorpions?
A loud organ music.
Okay.
A giant boot.
Yeah.
So if they had got the boot from Monty Python,
Yeah,
then they would have been...
yeah.
Terry Gilliam could have given us
Yeah,
that. Mortine? I don't know. What does kill a scorpion?
Louis the Fly.
Yeah.
Just give me a lot of cans of Mortine.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
The Doctor offers Martha another trip in the TARDIS as a passenger, but she wants to be bumped up to full companion and series regular. The Doctor says okay, and like everything else in their relationship, Martha misinterprets it.
Oh, why did they write her like that?
And with that, Martha jumps back into the TARDIS for another trip, but one that will involve being stuck in Victorian times, being stuck in the 60s, and being stuck in an alternative Earth that never existed.
Well, one of my favourites is coming up soon, which is Family of Blood and Human Nature.
Yes.
But she's
My
also
favourite.
stuck in a relationship that's not going to work out for her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when you fancy someone and they don't know you exist. Unrequited love, people. Fuck it.
Why do you think I do this podcast?
Unrequited love
That's
for
right.
me.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
One day Dave will notice me.
I also
Fuck
wrote
Dave.
down, so after watching the episode, I wanted to give a particular shout out to somebody who I thought really made the episode shine.
Sure.
David Tennant.
Really? You noticed
Wow.
him?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say a background extra or
No.
something. You're like, David Tennant,
I'm going to
really?
say MVP, David Tennant,
yeah.
the top billed actor.
Now, Liz.
It's not often the top billed actor gets called out for doing really good work.
Liz, just asking, what do you think he's a good looking guy? David Tennant?
Oh, yeah. Tasty.
Tasty.
David Tasty.
Well, that's a surprise.
Yeah. No, but,
Please welcome to the stage, David Tennant, Tasty.
Nibbles.
it's like this man whose name comes up first in the credits and even came up first in the opening sequence. I'm just like, you know what? I just want to give him an extra special shout out.
Yeah. Just for being good looking.
Yeah.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Hey. You did
a good job.
You did a good job, mate. You did
Yeah.
a good job.
So good looking.
I'll see you in your dressing room.
Yeah. Send you some-
You're not invited to my dressing
You
room.
didn't respond to
but
my
I know.
text, David Tennant.
Yeah.
I thought you were busy. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I see you on set, and
Yeah.
you're not busy. So.
And I see you're active on Facebook Messenger like a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I guess you didn't see my message, but that's cool.
Yeah, he's like that.
Yeah.
I run the David Tennant Stan account, Tasty.
Oh.
So yeah.
Tasty.
I run the David Tennant I want to lick your face page. Not getting a lot of likes from David Tennant,
No.
but you know.
And that's it. Is there anything else you would like to mention about the Lazarus Experiment before we score it?
No, I just wanted to punch the doctor in the face a few times, but otherwise, I'm
You
all
want
right.
to you want to lick him, you want to punch him.
Well, a lot
Wait,
of the
lick
times
first. If you punch, then your hand get slippery?
Then
would
I'd
your
have
hand
to-
get spitty?
I'd have to punch and then lick it better.
Okay.
Lick, punch, taste. That's a game we like
That's
to
a
play
game,
here.
like,
Yeah.
and
Lick,
but
punch,
you
taste.
only do. But the recipient is always David Tennant. But
Yeah.
you just have to decide in what order.
Snog, marry, punch.
Yeah.
And I pick him for all of them.
Lick, punch, taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. In what order do you want to lick, punch, taste? Oh, all at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, well, go for it.
Just this season of the 10th Doctor annoys me. Love him otherwise. Just because the way that the writers get him to treat Martha just annoyed me the whole time.
Is
So,
he, David Tennant, on record as having any particular thoughts on that dynamic?
I've never read anything.
Has anybody thought to ask David Tennant about his thoughts on Doctor Who?
I have asked Martha.
I mean,
at a
we know he's a
convention.
fan of Doctor Who.
Yeah,
He's been a
okay.
fan
Has
since
he
was a
seen
kid.
the episodes, or does he just kind of film them and then carry on with his life and be like, oh, that's right.
No,
I think he still
imagine-
watches
yeah,
it.
he still watches it.
I'm going to
Yeah,
Google it now to see if he had anything to say. I shall see.
You find out David Tennant was like, fuck, Doctor Who is so shit.
Yeah.
Or you learn that David Tennant requested that he treat Martha
Yeah.
just terribly because he was just going through a bad phase in his life.
I don't like Freema, so can I treat her character?
Oh, God.
You know, she's so lovely. Anyway.
I think he probably would have thought the same as Russell T Davies, the writer, would have been like, oh, it was a difficult time in the Doctor's life and she was a stronger character than he was used to, or I don't know. Something.
Yeah, no, you know what I think of that, don't you?
All right. We like to give the episode a score out of 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Nicchia, what would you like to give the Lazarus Experiment out of 5?
Okay, I didn't have fond memories of this. I wasn't keen to go back and watch it, but I would say that I give it a 3.
Okay.
It was actually, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Sure.
And there's been a few that I've hated this season, so I'm giving it a 3. It's good to see Mark Gatiss. You know, it's good to see David Tennant in tux. Nice to see Martha dressed up in a nice dress with a nice pair of shoes.
Oh, he was black tie, darling. Yeah, I agree. I'll give it a 3 as well. I literally sent Liz a text message saying it's going to be a shit episode. It's going to be fun to rip on. And then I watched it and I was like, actually wasn't that as bad as I remember it being. So I'm going to give it a 3 as well. Mark Gatiss really brings his acting chops. He gets to chew the scenery and have a lot of fun in this episode.
He does.
So.
I've gone, first episode of Doctor Who ever, I'm going to go 3.5.
Ooh.
Because it was a little bit of fun, but I would like to see, I'll now watch an episode where they're back in time doing something.
Oh.
But
we'll bring you back for a back in time episode.
Yeah,
sure.
I would like that. But I also want to know, are there usually such wanky lines? Like one of the lines I wrote down was, take care in the future and the past. And I wrote that down like, oh, wankety wank wank.
Yeah.
It depends on who the writer is. So some writers are really good and it's great and amazing and it's got some great monologues. And then some writers, the dialogue is terrible.
Yeah.
And I would think of, who's the guy who wrote my least favourite 2 episodes of the last couple of seasons? I don't know.
What episodes?
with the ribbons. What was that?
Oh, right. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the last 2 seasons that we've done.
No. So the new Doctor.
Sure.
And I don't like that writer at all. So do not
Why?
like it.
Why?
Don't like the stories. I don't like the characters. I don't like the dialogue. I've given them ones. I just really don't like them.
But also, Doctor Who doesn't take itself too seriously. So
that's what I love about it.
You can kind of have naff lines where it's kind of like sometimes there'll be naff lines delivered seriously, like we're a really good line. But most of the time, it's like a wink to the audience of like, we know this is pretty terrible. But it's also like kids are one of the main audiences for the show. So it's also like, they're like, oh my God, he referenced the thing that we liked.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I love the most about Doctor Who is that it has a sense of humour. So even when I was a kid, I started watching when I was, 4, 5, 6, something like that. There was a level of humour for me as well. And as you get older, I just like it. I like that it doesn't take itself seriously. A lot of the American ones take themselves way too seriously. And I think you've got to have a bit of a wink to the audience.
Yeah. It's not like Star Wars or Star Trek where they have hard or fast rules. It's basically whatever the script requires, the Doctor could be like, oh, it's some new technology.
Yeah.
So nobody is sort of in their basement being like, I've noticed an inconsistency in the way that you describe the technology. Because the people who make Doctor Who will be like, yeah, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
We make it up.
Yeah.
There are hardened Whovians who do that, who will pick out that stuff. And the canon of Doctor Who is, people can argue forever, but it's just sit down and watch and enjoy and just go on the adventure is what it's like.
Like the main thing of the show is like, how come people keep forgetting that they've seen these monsters before and all of this stuff
on planet Earth.
And literally the Doctor's like, oh, you guys are so great at forgetting stuff.
Wait a minute. So the Lazarus Experiment, hundreds of people have seen the big beastie scorpion man.
Yeah, they won't remember.
But he doesn't have a Men in Black thing.
No, they never remember.
Although Torchwood would it's around about this period of the show where they did have a Men in Black style spin-off called Torchwood.
Yeah, I heard
they
that.
were a society that basically goes around and cleans up after the Doctor. do their own thing as well, but part of what they do is to go around and clean up after the Doctor, So they do try and explain it in the show,
Because in this
But
world,
they were supposed to be a secret organisation, but inevitably in an episode they'd go through the lights and nearly run someone over, and some random guy go, bloody Torchwood.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go, not much of a secret.
So they also had their own spin-off. So it's kind of like the Marvel movies where it's like you have the Avengers movie where they all come together, but then you have an Iron Man movie where the world's going to be destroyed, and it's like, why aren't they calling the Avengers in? So the Torchwood has their own problems where it's like the world's going to be destroyed, and it's like, why aren't they finding the Doctor to help them?
Yeah.
Because they're their own show and they can't, have to leave the Doctor for special occasions. So.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and there's a lot of history to it, and it contradicts itself sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. And that's,
But you're right. The explanation is that all of those people at that venue just forget. Or I mean, I suppose it's been easier in recent times because they're like, they've started talking about fake news, how everyone sees all these things, but then they're like, oh, it was just mass hysteria, or someone made it up, or the pictures
It's like
are
the
photoshopped,
existence of
or-
a scorpion beast man would change the world forever.
Yeah, it should. I mean, that technology, he did come up with that technology. It's not alien technology.
Yeah.
But I'm reading my phone. Somebody says, "Oh, there's a big, scorpion monster." I'm like, "Oh, right, flat earther, whatever."
Yeah. If anybody posted pictures of it from Southall Cathedral, everyone on the internet would just say fake and gay.
Yeah,
Well, this is
that's
2007, so
Yeah.
the pictures aren't going to be great.
Yeah,
No.
and they turn it into like rage memes about it. So like somebody be like, "Oh, the Scorpion Man, me gusta."
Oh, yeah, the Scorpion Man that really exists.
Yeah.
Am I
It's like,
right?
Quick, click this link to see video of the Scorpion Man. Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down.
You've been rickrolled.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
funny.
for real, there was a Scorpion Man.
But also like in these sci-fi shows, they try and make it out to believe that one guy put all this technology together, and it's like, that's not how science works.
No.
No.
You have massive teams of people who all work together.
Yeah.
You write down all of your notes.
And they got government. They probably got government grants.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
so there's
right.
other people can work on this technology and make other things from it, but it's literally never mentioned ever.
But not
again.
if you're a mad scientist, and you know this. As a mad scientist, you will work on your own in isolation with attractive women who can turn dials.
But Steve,
what we all do.
like Steve Jobs, literally passed away, and Apple didn't go, well, he was the only one who knew how to make iPhones.
There
so
you go.
That's it. We've got to make something different now.
It's a Wile E. Coyote. Ring Acme, see what we can get next.
Yeah, it kind of gives rise to the question of who takes over this Lazarus company now, because he's dead. The lady's dead.
Yeah.
All we have are a bunch of
sleeping.
people that we presumably that he secured from modeling agencies. Like, does anybody else here have education in science or technology?
Lazarus Laboratories becomes a modeling agency. Yeah.
It's crazy. Now, Liz, whenever we have a guest on the show, we ask them what their Time Lord name would be. So, the Doctor chose the Doctor because it was do no harm, care, whatever. Adam has a Time Lord name. His Time Lord name is
The Nerd.
the Nerd. My family, we came up with, we all picked each other's Time Lord names. So my husband is the Inquisitor because he just asks a million stupid questions. My daughter is the Destroyer because everything she touches breaks. And I was a little offended, but I'm the Commander.
Oh.
Well, I'm a mother. I've got to run the place. So it's either a word or something that describes who you are or who you aspire to be. So what are some examples we've had?
Chris Martin is the Awkward Charmer.
Jade was the fuckboy.
With a Y or an I?
I.
Yeah. I know what it is.
Matt Ford was the decent.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm the dorky auntie.
Okay, so we turn up on the adventure, right, in the TARDIS. We get out, the Commander, the Nerd, and the dorky auntie. What does the dorky auntie bring to the adventure? What do you think?
ABBA. Dancing
ABBA.
queen.
Cool.
Dancing at weddings.
Yeah.
Okay.
She brings... I've got 2 cats.
So and will you throw them at the baddies?
Yeah. Well, I would sort of sick my cats onto them.
Good.
I would have so many pictures of my niece and nephew in my phone, and I just want to show them to everybody.
That's good. That's good.
I would imagine you walking around behind the doctor being like, okay, take a funny pose now. I'm going to take more photos.
We're going to do a funny one now.
Here comes the army. Yeah. Oh, quick. Whack on ABBA.
Yeah.
Now, dorky auntie, you know that you can't show those photos to anyone.
Yeah.
But why?
I'll go back to, olden times, and I'll be like, this, I just have to show, this is so cute. He was dressed up as Spider-Man. Look at him. This is a phone, by the way. You'll see this in the future anyway. This is
when they yell out, witch!
Yeah. Oh, I have pictures of witches. Do you want to see that?
I'm not the witch. I'm the dancing queen.
Yeah. I'm always, I show up, like any auntie, I show up, I pay no respect to, like, the schedules that the parents want to commit to.
Like
I deliver sugary snacks and then
good.
bail when it's bedtime and the kids won't go down because I'm just the auntie. I'm not the mum.
So I think the dorky auntie will be fun.
That's fun.
Take in the TARDIS.
The dorky auntie.
Get the baddies. The villain's doing a bit of ABBA.
Yeah.
Forget what they're cross
if
about.
you want to see me in the TARDIS, you knock on the TARDIS door and I'm like, I'm coming.
Wow, I think the dorky auntie's going to get her own spin-off.
And then I open the door of the TARDIS and I've got my rosé, like, hey.
You got a shirt that says it's always time for rosé. Yeah.
Rosé all day.
Your rosé and your slippers.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for us to get out of this so I can get back and have a drink. Am I right?
I need to get home. My cat Pudge needs his special vet diet food.
All right, thank you to the dorky auntie.
The dorky auntie will have to write on our list.
Yes, thank you, Liz, for joining us.
It's been my pleasure.
It's been a pleasure having you.
It's been good. We've had the glamour of Liz, which is the cross between Drew Barrymore and, as you got called last night, Adele.
Yeah, there you go.
More Drew Barrymore from my...
I have the sultry voice of Drew Barrymore. And charisma of Adele's talking voice.
Hello, love. Hello.
I'm Adele.
Because that's the thing is she looks so prim and proper, but then when you hear her sing, it's like, hello, I'm Adele, love. How's it going?
I was just down to the chippy for That is, I love listening to her talk.
Is there anything that you would like to plug, Liz?
Oh, I would say Google Brisbane, because we're at the Brisbane Comedy Festival this year. And see us make fun of Brisbane. But wherever you are in the world listening to this podcast, you can still make fun of Brisbane with us. Google Brisbane.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We should all make fun of Brisbane.
And full head foils?
Mm-hmm. So catch me and my comedy duo partner, Chloe, who's from Portsmouth. She should come on this podcast. She probably knows more about Doctor Who than I do. You'll be seeing us later in the year. Chuck us a like on Facebook. Full Head Foils.
Fantastic.
Full Head Foils.
Awesome.
You can catch the hosts on Facebook at Nicchia Schutt Comedy and Adam O'Sullivan Comedian. D4WH is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. The podcast is available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher and many more. Nicchia also hosts Neighbourhood Watching with Beck and Nick, looking at the weird and wacky neighbours just over the back fence. Available where all podcasts are. Adam regularly works with Big Fork Theatre in Brisbane. You can find him in some of the online shows on the Big Fork YouTube channel and also has sketches in the Get It In Ya podcast. If you enjoyed D4WH, please consider jumping onto our Patreon and donating. We release episodes early and for as little as $5 a month, we release mini episodes in between our normal episodes. D4WH is part of the Nerd Infinite, which can be found at thenerdinfinite.com.
Is there anything else other than the normal that you would like to plug?
No, just that I am looking forward to getting together some dick sweat. Mark Gatiss dick sweat. Anyone's dick sweat,
like booty sweat from that movie.
What was it called? What was
that movie called? Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder. Yeah.
I just think Cardi B will probably write a song about dick sweat next.
Yeah,
so.
probably.
Looking forward to
wet ass dick sweat.
Yeah, what a film clip! Can't wait.
If I had a dick, it would be sweaty.
It'd be moist.
If I was white, I would be Betty.
Oh, you've started written the first two lines.
Oh my God.
And just wait for the dorky auntie to come in.
In the
I love
background.
this song.
Oh, I can floss.
I can. What do you mean twerking's out?
Yeah. I know what a 2 weeks fortnight is. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
it's been
thank
a pleasure having you. Until next time, keep searching the skies for the Doctor. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
This has been a production of The Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?